This your boy Buck from All Drive Force. I'm doing a tune-up on a car. The customer got a misfire, so somebody else did the tune-up, so I'm redoing it, but I'm gonna show you the right way to do it when you do it. It's a 2005 Malibu. See, the first thing you do on this car is you gotta take the air filter off on both sides so you can get to the spark plug. A lot of times you don't want nothing in your way or try to like make things hard, so a lot of times it's easier to actually take more stuff off to get it out your way than trying to fight in little corners. But I'm gonna take it off. It's pretty simple. It's a bolt right here and a bolt right here. That's simply just a flathead, and this should just pop out. But a lot of times too, you have to watch out for this because a lot of these things be like plastic, right? So you don't want to put too much force on there because they're really snap really easy. That's why I think a lot of automakers should make these things rubber over plastic, because plastic over time snap, rubber would be more prone to bend or something. What I didn't notice is a bolt right here. You gotta take this bolt out. It's probably a 10 millimeter more than likely. Right. Since the customer somebody already did the tune-up on this car, right? So I don't have to remove the spark plug wires. I just gotta take the spark plugs off. I mean, spark plug wires off, and check the spark plugs to see if they're tight, or take them out to check each one of their gap. Because sometimes you have to read the box of the spark plugs you get, because you gotta see if it's a gapped or not gapped. Sometimes you gotta gap it yourself, and sometimes you don't. But another thing too, never take off all the wires. Never take out all the wires. Make sure you do one at a time, because you simply putting one wire in the wrong spot will completely just cause a misfire in your car. So always doing one at a time. Never take off all of them and try to put them all back at once. You'll never do it like that. In this car, they have these to make it organized, but it's pretty simple. Like, they got a bendy piece on one side and then the clips on the other side. So the other clip, all you gotta do is stick a screwdriver in it and push them force to the left and push it up, and it should come right out. Same thing for that one. Just put a little force in here with a screwdriver and just lift it up, you know what I mean? Just like that. When you pull the spark plugs off, make sure you grab it by this part. You don't want to pull this, because you can easily pull this out. So make sure you just grab it like this, get a firm grip, and just pull it off. See, that wasn't even on tight, so that could be causing a misfire too. But I'm still going to take the spark plugs out and check them to see if they're properly gapped. The socket you use is a 5/8, so it's a little hard to get in there, but you just gotta put a little force in it, and it'll go on. And just like anything else, counterclockwise to take it off. Okay, I called the dealership, I mean the AutoZone. So they told me if you got the Iridium Autolite spark plugs, you don't need them gap. But the gap, to check the gap is pretty simple, right? Between there, between these two things is where the spark goes, right? So they got a gap checker. This is the gap checker. So all you gotta do is start from the small end, put it between it, and turn it until it gets tight. Then once it gets tight, whichever thing it lines up with, that's the spark gap of your spark plug. But it might be like a little play in it, but you have to like probably look online or Google it to see if there's a tolerance to it. Like, can you allow like a little more, a little less? But these are on point because I checked them myself. But you can get this from any store. This is a spark plug gap checker. And this right here is say if the gap was too big or too wide, you don't use it by hand. You just stick this in between it and bend it up or bend it down. Another thing too, all right, when you're using the ratchet, right? When you're using the ratchet, you tighten it until it gets tight, and then you might do like a quarter turn or maybe an eighth turn more. Don't over tighten, because aluminum heads are real easy to strip. So you don't want to over tighten it. Make sure like it got like a nice firm, but you don't want to put too much weight on it. So a lot of time I really only use one hand, because I know I don't got the strength to cross thread it with one hand. Putting the spark plugs on, right? A lot of times you might want to use two hands and really push it on there. A lot of time you'll hear like a little pop noise, like a or a click noise, or you can like pull it out to make sure it's wiggle, but make sure it's on there secure. but you don't need like a tool or nothing. Just like use your force to keep pushing it to make sure it's on there, because that'll cause a misfire too if these spark plug wires is not always on the spark plugs. The reason why his car was still a misfire, whoever did his tune-up never did the number 3 cylinder right. It was still loose, like they didn't even tighten the spark plug away. So make sure you tighten it to where it's firm, but don't, like, if you feel like you putting too much force, don't do it, because aluminum heads are really easy to strip. But make sure you tighten it enough that you feel it seated, like you'll really feel like, all right, it's not moving no more. But don't, like, once you feel that, like, stop. You know what I mean? Well, you might give like a little play to make sure it's not moving, but that should be good enough. It's your boy Buck again with All Drive Force. Just like, share, and subscribe. Tell me how you like the video.